Welcome to another exciting episode of Way of the Brush with me, your host, Kris, aka The Name Butcher, aka Hey You Get Off My Lawn, aka Kris, you're being creepy again. Way of the Brush, the most informative 120 minutes on the internet on the wargaming lifestyle. We'll talk about painting, terrain, conversions, and just about everything under the sun, meaning no topics are barred. We'll talk about anything and everything. So, first-time viewers, be warned, we go off the rails pretty darn quick around here. And, of course, if you're watching this live, you can ask your questions in the chat, whichever direction it might be in for you. And if you're watching this after the fact, you can submit your questions to Kris@waveofthebrush.com. It is in the description below, as well as a link to wayofthebrush.com. Central hub of all this silliness has the links to all the social medias, as well as Discord. Join us on Discord. It's a lot of fun. We keep the conversation rolling 24/7 on Discord, so feel free to post questions there if you really need an answer. And of course on all the other social medias, the Instagrams, the Facebooks, and the Twitters and all that, that's all covered as well. So follow on all that stuff if you want to keep up with whatever silliness I'm up to. Sometimes it's silly, sometimes it's not. Sometimes I'm quite serious and deep. No, not really, but I tried to make it sound like it was like, this is a learned experience, a scholarly experience, but no, it's pretty lowbrow. Also at wayofthebrush.com is links for t-shirts. Want to get yourself a t-shirt? Look like a connoisseur of all that is good and holy in the world. They're wearing a Way of the Brush t-shirt. Of course, you can also find a link down below as well. If you're watching this on YouTube, it has little merchandise links, merch, right? Anyway. If you purchase yourself a shirt, send a picture of yourself in your shirt, and I will add it to the Monkey Shrine, which is also at wayofthebrush.com. And of course, you'll also find a link for Patreon. Huge thank you to all my patrons. Without your support, these videos would not be possible. This channel wouldn't be possible. And of course, the ability to continue to do what I do, which is educate and sometimes inform, and sometimes even less than that, entertain. Huge thank you to everybody who does. There are varying tiers of support, and of course, the big one being early access, and of course, dice. You guys can get himself some dice, some Way of the Brush dice, little monkey dice. Just like this little guy right there. You see his little mug? He's dancing. Yeah, you get little dice with his face on it. So, huge thank you. If you're not able to support monetarily, i.e. money, thumbing up the video, liking, following, subscribing, sharing, commenting, and ringing the bell, and all that other stuff we're supposed to do, and, like if you really want to stay up to date, you got to be on all this stuff. You want to be right there at the cutting edge of what is happening. That's how it's going to happen. Oh man, just like totally overselling everything today. It's just we're overselling. It's a blowout sale. It's a blowout sale. Big thank you to Carl, aka Guymere Alfer, aka Beer and Blood Bowl. That's his YouTube channel. Check him out if you love yourself some beer and you love yourself some Blood Bowl. Beer and Blood Bowl is where it's at. We always take the time to thank Carl, even though he is no longer with us, for taking the time out of his busy day to create the email jingle that plays before the email segments of the show. So always much love to Carl. And of course, speaking of love, much love to my baby brother Evan for creating the intro, outro music that plays at the begin and end of the show. So always much love to my baby bro, Evan. And of course, if you're into rare comics, like rare, I'm talking like even before there was comics, he's got those comics. Even they're on like papyrus and they're like ancient scrolls, and yeah, and he drives around in a van and he just, he's stopping at schoolyards, and yeah, so he's all about that, comic. He's all about that kind of stuff. EB Comics is in the description below. Check him out if you're into comics. And I mean, who isn't at this point? I would think that, by this point, comics are pretty mainstream, are they not? Like, are I don't know. Like, I guess sometimes I'm really out of it, but I'm always out of it. But like comic books, because ever since the whole popularity of superheroes into mass media, TV and movies and, you know, all these things. And of course, music, it influences music. Some people are writing music to this stuff. And, you know what I mean? Like, there's a huge, huge industry built around this stuff that came from comics. So does that make comics all the more popular? Are more and more people reading comics? Are comic sales going up because of all this other stuff? Or is it still kind of fringe where it always was and only just, you know, kind of regarded for kids? And, you know what I mean? Like, these kinds of ideas, you know, like, I'm just wondering. I ponder. These are the things that keep me up at night. Speaking of keep me up at night, who's joining us today? I can see Evan Belleau. What's up, everybody? I gotta move this over here. I can't see crap through here. Johnny's Chop Shop. Let's do this thing. Let's do this. Sir Peanut Butter. Morning, Kris and Peeps. Morning. David Vega. What's up, Kris and Monkeys? What's up? Vivian Wolf. Hello, Kris. Hello, Monkeys. Hello. Enforcer 357. There he is. What's good, Monkeys? How's it going, Kris? It's going pretty good. War Pigment. What up, player? Player? Like Ready Player One or playa? Like word. Either way, playa. Everybody who plays this game or is into like miniature wargaming, would it be inappropriate for everybody to start to refer to each other as playa? Because we all play, right? We're players. But playa, it's a little, you know, a little less. Grim afternoon. It is afternoon. Grim. Good old Grim. It's like he's as reliable as Big Ben. The clock, not the football player. Anyway. Because actually Big Ben, the football player, he's not always reliable. He's pretty reliable. Like, he's in that 70% range, right? So that's pretty darn reliable, I guess. Warpig. Player one. Oh, Ready Player One? Okay. What up, Player One? Okay, Player Two. Tetsuo 315. Morning. It's afternoon. Grim said it was afternoon, so I'm going to have to take his word for it. Mind you, though, if you're on the European side of things, it's evening, right? It's evening? I think, yeah, around now is evening. Evening? It's tea time in the UK? Is that what, do I get that right? Do I have that read correct? It's tea time? Anyway, and everybody on the West Coast and into the Pacific, yes, I imagine it's morning. So morning. I might as well just start the show with morning, evening, good afternoon. Wait, morning, evening, good afternoon. That's kind of bass backwards, isn't it? What if I said it was evening, afternoon, morning? Oh, there we go. We're going backwards. Kind of like Superman. You know, when he spins around the planet and he turns back time simply by changing the rotation of the planet. However that works. I don't know what kind of bullshit science class those guys went to, but yeah, if I was their parents, I'd demand my money back. Because, like, the education system failed those guys, obviously. Grim, are we talking American football or European football? We're talking American football. Big Ben, Steelers, Pittsburgh Steelers. He's quarterback. It was a big controversy this year, this offseason, whether or not he was going to continue. But yeah. Grim, for the Big Ben follow, because I'm not familiar with the name other than the clock. Yeah, Big Ben. Yeah, he's the quarterback for Pittsburgh Steelers, and still is. He's probably only got a couple more years. He's a Super Bowl winner. He's a champ. And he's a big dude. But he runs like an old lady. Whenever you watch him run, it's like watching an old lady run. It's not a pretty sight, really. Warpig, I'm from Pittsburgh, and he need to go. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah. Like, it'd be nice if he stayed on, like, as a coordinator or something like that, but, yeah. It is getting time to, you know, move on. Scott Radham. As a Browns fan, let's hope Big Ben plays for another 10 years. I don't know. Because, see, like, okay, you compare, like, somebody like Big Ben and Brady, right? Brady never took big hits. He was only out one season for that, what was his knee? And, you know, but otherwise, most of the time, he was never hit. So he always, You know, he plays in the pocket, passing the ball, you know, and he's accurate as fuck. And he's proven that, you know, he is the greatest. Big Ben, because of his size, he, like, the Steeler football was always, you know, just shrug off the blitz. And so he got hit lots, right? And so his body, like, Brady might be a bit older than Ben, but in mileage, Ben is far beyond what Brady is. And so, yeah, you know, Brady probably could go on another 10 years. Ben, I mean, as much as I love my Steelers, I mean, I don't know. My son, we get on this subject. My son is a fanatic, and I mean, if you want to talk some football, follow my son. We get on this topic of Ben retiring, stuff like that, and yeah, a little tear will run down the side of his cheek and everything like that. So, yeah, War Pig, such a hit to the cap. Yeah, I mean, you know. I mean, they want to hang on to some of these players, right? Because they want to maintain where they're going. So, yeah. And I mean, like, you know, Ben doesn't need the money, for God's sakes. Come on. Does he? That's, of course, maybe he's got wicked gambling debts or something like that, and he just, you know. Anyway. Oh, man. So, we have a couple emails to do today. We've got some nice Instagrams to do. And in fact, you know what? Let's jump over to the Instagram side of things right now. You know, just cause we're kind of farting around here. So this little portion of the show, I don't have anything. You know, it's not like it's a segment, but I introduced this a few weeks back, basically showcasing if you guys use the hashtag Way of the Brush, I'll show your pictures. I'll share them, right? And if you don't want to share your stuff, well then don't use the hashtag Way of the Brush. That's pretty simple, right? Now, mind you, I mean, we look at the pretty pictures. I might offer a thought or two, but it's not really, you know, the venue for critique, you know. I mean, if you really want me to have a look at your work, send me an email, right? And if you're going to send pictures, send them as attachments in the email. Don't send it off as links to other sites and blah. You know what I mean? Anyway, let's jump over to Instagram. Yeah. So, some of you might have seen my Sigvald. If not, my Instagram. I posted a pretty pic of my Sigvald. I have two little versions of them. Two backgrounds. I need some new backgrounds. But anyway, yeah. What's this? Some graffiti. I think this is somebody just using the hashtag. Because I know there's some other artists out there who, that's interesting, who use this hashtag. I know there's some artists that do like ink drawings and stuff like that, and they use the hashtag. All right, this one's from Alex. It looks like a space wolf. I'm going to guess a rune priest? No? Or is it just regular, or just a lone fang dude? I don't know. I'm so out of touch out of the. Oh, it is a rune priest. Okay, yeah. I just looked at the hashtags. I'm an idiot. One character a week is my current challenge. Cool. That's interesting. Yeah, I like it. I like the base. Nice crumbly rock. I'm still a big fan. I know it's kind of, I don't know. In some circles, it feels like the gatekeeping thing. You know, people making fun of others just simply using cork to simulate the rock and everything like that. For a while there, it seemed like everybody was doing it. And now that everybody's doing it, everybody's kind of like, oh, I'm over it, you know. I still like the cork rock thing. Yeah. Looks nice and clean. Lots of runes. Are those runes free-handed or are those decals? Yeah. Dig it. I like it. It's a good job. Yeah. He's a space wolf. I mean, you know. I'm not shitting on the paint job or anything like that, but, you know, it's a space wolf. It's kind of hard to get super worked up about a space marine. I like the glowiness. I like this. Who's it? Disco? Oh, Disco Duke. Gonna call this guy done, the second in the set of the Sepulchral Guard. Is it Sepulchral? Pectoral? Sepulchral? Just butchering that name, I know. Anyway, I like the vibrancy of color on this, and you know, the rags, like going with that nice saturated red on the rag, like his little loincloth thingy. I think it really definitely adds some nice pop, especially it plays with, you know, the green of his glowiness. Yeah. I like it. I dig it. A slightly different angle. It's a slightly different angle. Dude, do you just post your camera roll? Is that what you do? Yeah, I like it. I mean, we probably could have changed the angles, maybe. Just saying. That's about the only critique I'd offer is if we're going to have multiple images, let's change the angles. I like the shield. What's going on with that shield? Is that like an energy glow in the shield? Is that what that is? And of course, I see it on the sword as well. The sword looks like it has like a texture on it. Like you added some sort of texture to it. And because the base is not finished, I'm going to assume that this is still work in progress. I don't see the hashtag work in progress, but I'm going to assume... Or you're calling this guy done. Okay. It's interesting because like the sword has that really great texture on it. And it's very, very light. And at first it looked like, you know, you were doing some, you were pulling the paint, right? That's what it looks like. Or unless, of course, you were using some sort of texture paint or something. I don't know. But very, very cool. Shaky brush minis. Some Blue Angels. Very cool. Looks like metallics. Nice bases. Cork on the rocks. Cork on the rocks? I like the blades. We've got more pictures of this? No, we do not. Yeah, I like the blades. I like your work on the blades. I like that. Subtle. Direct. Effective. Your paint application is nice and smooth. I like the freehanding of the lettering on the one guy's chest there. Or the other guy's chest. Everybody's chest. Everybody. Yeah. It's just it's solid painting. It's solid painting. And, excuse me. And yeah, I dig it. I like it. Straightforward. I mean, like, you know, it's getting them done, right? It's getting them so they look pretty on the tabletop. Oh, and he drilled out the barrels too, didn't you? You drilled out the barrels. Good job. Good job. Oh, here's another one from Disco Duke. First of the Sepulchral Guard done. The bases will be done at the same time when they're all complete. Okay. Oh, okay. I see what you're saving the bases till the end. I gotcha. All right. Again, I like the vibrancy of the cloak. You know, I imagine they're all going to have this treatment where the tattered rag is that nice saturated red like that. And then everything else has this decayed, rusty appearance. I think the armor definitely could use some weathering. I realize you're saying this is done, so, I mean, you're not going any further, but, yeah. I think, you know, throwing in, like, those neutral kind of tones like that, it just plays better, especially when going for such a saturated red like that. Oh, you get the little splash of green. Is this guy going to get the glowy green thing going on, like the other guy? Oh, I didn't give this the heart yet. There we go. I'm just wondering... I don't even know if Disco's here today. Is Disco here? I don't see Disco. Disco! No, he's not around. Next one. Nurgle Tank. Death Guard Rhino first attempt at weathering. Oh, really? I like it. I mean, immediately, I get the sense that it has rust and stuff like that around it. And like I'm looking at the upper left-hand side, and that looks like there's almost like a shadow in there, which makes me think that is that deliberate or is that a tide mark? Oh, I think that's a tide mark. Either way, it works, right? I like the freehanding of the biohazard symbol on the door. I really like that. Yeah, again, it's a solid effort, and yeah, very very good. I'm gonna give this a likey. I forgot to give it a likey. What is it? G-O painted? G-O-H painted? Or is it G-O painted? I'm not making fun of your name. I can't read. I'm an idiot. Anyway. Yeah. No, I like the weather. I wish we kind of had some more angles, really. And yeah, like kind of like a, not so much a top-down perspective, but more of a three-quarter perspective, you know? Kind of like if we were looking at it like it was sitting on the tabletop, I kind of would like that. But otherwise, yeah, it looks good. You freehanded that biohazard symbol, and you know, I wouldn't be afraid to, you know, freehand, you know, like squadron markings or, you know, other things like that. But otherwise, yeah, the weather I think looks fine. It looks good. You could always push a little bit of brightness. You know, you could always add a bit of highlights to the edges. You know, but you know, I think you're well on your way to really having really great looking models really, really quickly here. Yeah. I mean, like the freehanding of that biohazard symbol tells me you do have the capacity to draw. And that's right out the gate. That is an advantage. Advantage being used loosely here just because, you know, it's like not like it's a competition or anything like that, but you know what I mean, just as you're developing as a young aspiring painter, I feel like we've seen these guys before, but I didn't give it a like, so I'm doing that. Leonard Aaron Aaron Leonard Aaron. Some Scavin. I like them. I like the color scheme of these dudes. I like the painting. It's nice and bright. It's bold. I'm a big fan of bright and bold. I know there's a lot of people out there who don't like bright and bold, but on the tabletop, you know, you can't not see these models, right? Very subtle models tend to get lost on the tabletop. And, you know, that's really kind of like the two big camps of mini painting, right? Is, you know, people painting for the table. Oh, wait, was there extra pictures in that one? Oh, there was too. Shit. Sorry. Yeah, I like to work on a cloak. Yeah, I feel like we've seen this guy. Did you send an email? I must have looked at these on an email, maybe. Yeah. That one Skaven over there on the left has a pirate hat. Are these Games Workshop models, or are these somebody else, like Mantic or somebody? Huh. Yeah, I like you. Oh, skip the pick. Oop, skip the pick. Oop. No, there we go. Give it a likey. Oh, this is Geo painted. Geo. Anyway, I like the texture on the armor. It almost looks like you used like a crackle medium on the runners. Did you use a crackle medium? It looks like on the sides, or does the model actually have that tight of a crackling on its surface? I mean, it's clean, even though it's Nurgle, and Nurgle, I mean, like is like orcs, is very forgiving of newer painters, less experienced painters, because even if you slap the paint onto the surface with Nurgle and orcs, it just looks good. It fits the character, you know. You do it on Eldar or Space Marines and stuff like that, and you know, it's kind of obvious. Versus Nurgle, you can get away with it, which is which is one of the reasons why probably I got into Nurgle way back in the day. Yeah, I like it. I like that the colors are nice and... Yeah, see, I think I had some crackle medium on the sides. Yeah, I like that. Good call. That's got to be crackle medium. It's got to be. Unless that's sculpted on there. On that runner or the track there. Right? That's what I'm talking about. Is that sculpted or did he put crackle medium down? I just don't know. That looks like crackle medium to me. And I say, good work. Ooh, I like the little rustiness, the little color blend to that. I like that. I like that element, how it looks like it's kind of chewed away and it's like rotten and yeah. I like that. You could have carried that motif over to like, you know, like where those little pipes are popping out of his top of the body there and did it on the other side of the crawler, whatever this thing is. What is it? Crawler? Plague crawler? I don't know. And disco referee. Oh, we already looked at this one. Okay. And we're caught up. Look at that. We're caught up. We're caught up on the Instagrams. Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, we're caught up. I like that it just, yeah, posted most recent. Yeah. Did we look at these Blood Angels? Yeah, we looked at those Blood Angels. We looked at them. Cool. Awesome stuff. Well, thank you for using those hashtags and having a peek. And yeah, I like them. Space Wolf, Disco's Skeleton Dude. Jeez Louise, that scared the crap out of me.
I am currently black oil washing my dudes. Should I do chipping before or after the wash? Also, what do you think of using shinier metal the more elite the trooper is? Not uniform, but thematic.
Well, thank you, Killer Whale, for the super chat. You're currently black oil washing your dudes. Should you do chipping before or after the wash? There's no harm doing the chipping after the wash. There's no harm in doing the chipping before the wash. It really is kind of where, like, if you have a solid idea, I suppose, because if you do the oil wash after you do the chipping, you are going to color shift the chipping. Now, if that's fine, then do it that way. If you don't want that chipping to catch any of that wash, then do the wash first, and then you can do the chipping afterwards, right? So it really, it's more of a procedural thing, and it's more of, what sort of look you're looking for, right? And yeah, that's really about it. It's more procedural than anything. And I know, Killer Whale, we've talked quite a few times. Don't get caught up too heavily in the procedure. I know that's a hard one to move past. But try and just like have an idea. Okay, and I know this is not terribly helpful, but when you have the idea and you kind of know what direction you want to move in, don't be afraid to just go, yeah, I take this and go. Because oftentimes what ends up happening is you end up overthinking things, right? Whereas if you just go, I'm going to take this color, I'm going to use this, and I'm just going to do this. Bang. And see what I get, right? And don't be afraid to just run with it. Because if it doesn't work out, that's fine. That's fine if you make a mistake. That's fine. It's okay. If it's not exactly what you wanted, that's okay. Because as long as you were paying attention, you will learn something. And your experience and your mastery of all this stuff will be that much greater. So, try not to overthink it too heavily. Just, you know what I mean? Like, do the oil, just try the oil wash first. And then do the chipping, okay? That looks pretty straightforward. And then, maybe next time you're doing another project and you do the chipping first and then do the wash. And you go, oh, I see what happens. Now I see kind of what Kris was talking about. And you know what I mean? And just sometimes you just got to just go for it. you know, sorry, I noticed my camera looks a little smeared. There we go. There was a smear on it. Anyway, so yeah, just sometimes you just got to go for it. You know, don't be afraid to fail, and don't be afraid to make a mistake. And if you think of an idea and then commit it to a model, don't be so discouraged by it not looking exactly the way you want. But examine and self-examine. Why didn't it occur the way I thought it was? You know? You're going to do tons of learning, and when you're really inexperienced, that's all you can do. But this is a really fun time for you because, man, everything's new. It's all exciting. It's all a mystery, you know? Unfortunately for somebody like in my shoes, not that there's not any mysteries or anything like that anymore, but I don't really kind of, you know, get that worked up about too much stuff. It's more procedural at this point for me versus somebody who's relatively new to a lot of this stuff and a lot of these concepts that, you know, they're, I get this now, and I see how the brush moves, and I see the importance of the brush stroke, and, you know, control of the paint and thinning the paint and using water versus mediums, and you know what I mean? Like all these different things, how colors interact, how blending, you know, taking a bright yellow and a brown, and, you know, like all these things come within time. What is the important thing is to just keep painting, just keep swimming, just keep painting. Just keep painting, just keep painting, boom, 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 boom. Anyway. Paul Knox, evening, oh? Evening. Red Strasher, there he is. You ever go full Simon Cowell on people's paintings? No. In my head, I do. Sometimes. But then, when I hear that voice, and he's being really kind of really critical and also kind of a bit of a nastiness, I self-examine and go, okay, well, where's that coming from? You know what I mean? And then so then, yeah. But usually, a lot of times though, when people post their work on the internet and stuff like that, I usually don't comment. You know, I'll give it a thumb up if it's on Facebook and stuff like that. But yeah, I usually don't comment too much. There was actually a question on Facebook the other day, on the painting group. Oi, geez Louise. Thank you for the follow. Kitabuchika. I totally butchered that, I'm sure. But thank you for the follow. Kitabuchika. I ruined that, I'm sure. But thank you. Thank you. Yeah, and I just try and, you know, not to listen to those goblins. And, you know, I just, you know, step back. You know, and examine it, like if the person was putting their work out there, and they're like, because even somebody who's relatively new to this hobby, it is kind of a big step, especially anybody with any kind of amount of humility, to kind of put their work out there. You know, that's a big step in itself, to just put that out there. And, you know, sometimes all a person, you know, needs is a little pat on the back. Good job. Keep going. Right? Sometimes that's all a person needs. And, you know, why not? Right? Yeah, it was a question the other day on Facebook, and I had made a comment. It was about, you know, when people post pictures. Oi, geez Louise. And
Miracle, but that is all.
Thank you, Fire Drake, for the super chat, Nurglebutt. The Nurglebum. Anyway, yeah. That's a fun feature though now, right? That you know, it does the voice thing. It scares the crap out of me every time, but anyway, Nurglebum. He threw off my concentration now. Anybody who wants to throw off my concentration, just yeah. So anyway, yeah. The important thing is just keep painting. And yeah, don't be afraid to throw yourself out there and, you know, be vulnerable. And don't be afraid to be wrong. And don't be afraid to get some of those comments that sound kind of nasty. And again, because you're reading it in text, it can sound kind of nasty in that regards. You know, and the person may genuinely not have meant it in that way, but it sounds that way because it's just, you know, again, especially when you are vulnerable, you interpret it that way. And because oftentimes, you know, when dealing with like artists and stuff like that, it half the time it is very emotional. Artists tend to be, you know, emotional, right? Because they're just, you know, part and parcel for the whole thing, right? And yeah. So, anyway. I can't remember where I was going with any of that, but anyway. Paul Knox, it's me, Paul Knox, 47 by the way. Trim my name. Trim your name. That should have been your name. Trim your name. I was going to say something with that. Vivian Sepultura. Or Sepulcra? Sepulcra? See, I always said it's Sepultura. Yeah. Because I used to listen to the band Sepultura. And yeah, I used to always say it that way. I don't know. Kaylee Larson. There she is. Looks good. Yeah, I just followed Kaylee. Recently, I don't know how long Kaylee's been painting, but Kaylee's another Twitch streamer. Feel free. Check out her channel. Apparently she lives at home with a zoo. She's got a whole zoo. I'm waiting for her when she's going to be painting, you know. You know what would be cool is if you were painting Lizard Man and you had like a big lizard while you painted. I think that'd be fun. There we go. That's your next show. Grimjaw. So many hashtags. I like the spear on the bone dude. Yeah. Killer Whale looks pretty grim dark. Very dark. I want to portray my lower rank guys as older and grittier, so the elite guys use liquid silver from Vallejo, and the meat shields get Iron Warrior. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, yeah, like even playing with color in that regards, right? Because yeah, one thing that you don't really see a lot of in the painting is, I mean, I've seen maybe one or two examples of it. I don't know if I've ever seen it, say for an example, like on a Space Marine, where you use the saturation, just playing within saturation to tell the theme of the model. So for example, brand new recruits, their armor, because they're new, their armor would be nice and vibrant, right? And the older guys, their armor would be less saturated because it's been out in the elements. They've been in, you know, blazing sunlight, and their armor, the color on their armor is faded. Never mind scratches and things of that nature, right? Just the saturation that, you know, like, you know, I don't know. Do Primaris have Stern Guard? Or are those the Shield Brethren now? Are they like the Stern Guard? I don't know. You know, again, I'm getting really out of touch with all this stuff. But anyway, yeah. So new units to really old units, right? Like the captain of the force, he'll have a mostly desaturated armor. Or, and here's another fun one, you know how you see some heavy equipment that's been left outside, you know, tractor, whatever, crane, whatever. And you can see that it used to have a very vibrant paint job, but because it's been out in the elements so long, it's been in the sun, and it, you know, the sun soaks up. Holy croly. Mazzy Stream, thank you for following. Mazari? Hello from Serbia. Well, hello. Hello from Canada. Heavy equipment sitting outside in the sun desaturates the color. And blending the armor on a model. So like, for example, like a Space Marine. We always jump to the Space Marine example just because, you know, there's a lot of surface on a Space Marine to play with color, right? So for example, like a Blood Angel. He's really kind of a deep saturation in the shadowy points, but he's desaturated up on the high points with maybe like runs and stuff like that coming down the sides, like a bit of weathering. And then of course you could add like the chipping and stuff like that, maybe add little spots of rust. But I don't really see anybody going to that on vehicles. So vehicles would be really excellent to try that kind of thing out, where, you know, the very top of the tank might be, you know, slightly desaturated. We're not talking like, you know, Mephiston red to, you know, skull white, right? We're talking like Mephiston red to a slightly desaturated Mephiston red, right? And that's the kind of thing I'm talking about, where the color above is desaturated, representing the wearing, right? Because oftentimes when we talk about weathering on these vehicles, we are not, we're looking at rust and we're looking at chipping. And very rarely are we looking at the desaturation of color, that, you know, the sunlight. And imagine in a sci-fi setting that the sun on some alien ass world would, you know, could completely, you know, leach the color out of, you know, the paint job, right? Because imagine, like, you know, a white dwarf, right? And the intense light that's coming out of it, and it just, you know, leaches the color right as soon as they make a landing fall. They're on a planet, and all of a sudden, and it's like, you know, the color is just leaching out of their armor, like the first day on the planet, kind of thing, right? So, yeah, just a thought. Anyway, it's something for you guys to think on, for some of you to gnaw on. Anyway, where am I? Killer whale. Oh yeah, I love learning, as in realizing that I know more than before. Yeah, exactly, right? I mean, as long as you always feel like you're making progress, that in itself is inspiring. That okay, I get it. And then you want to try something else new, and then you try something new. You might fail at it. That's fine, because then you go, okay, I see. I wanted this, but I'll try it again. 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 And you know what I mean? And you just keep going, and that's mastery. That's mastery, man. It's all it takes. It's all it takes. It's really easy. Like this whole painting miniatures game thing, it's not complex. It's pretty straightforward. Enforcer. So, Kris, how many times have you gone Gordon Ramsay on our models, and when people ask you how to paint a straight red line with a brush? I know, whenever somebody always asks that question, what was it? Oh, it was Killer Whale the other day when we were doing the stream, and he asked, how do you paint this? And I said, with a brush. It was making a joke, of course, but, you know, it is kind of a dick move to say, Kris, how do I paint this? And I go, with a brush. The one that was always funny to me was talking with Ash way back in the day. And he brings up Kazoo, the great Kazoo. Listen up, dum-dums. And we always made the joke of doing like a tutorial like that for painting, you know. We're going to paint a white line. Okay, listen up, dum-dums. You're going to take your brush and then dunk it into the paint. Move it along the surface. There, you got a straight line. Something along those lines. Something kind of mean, you know. Might be a little bit helpful, but it's kind of mean. And it's right in my wheelhouse. That whole thing is right in my wheelhouse, because I do have a bit of a mean streak. You know, and yeah. I know Gordon Ramsay, yeah, he's kind of a dick too. Or at least he portrays himself as a bit of a dick. You know, in his programs and stuff like that. And same with, was it Simon Cowell? Yeah, Simon Cowell is another one. Who, yeah, I'm sure these guys are probably really terrific in person. Or maybe they're complete assholes. I have no idea. And nor do I care. But yeah. Evan Belleau. Kris, did somebody say stroke? Get Billy Squire on the phone. Stat. Man, I have been enjoying the new add-on for Disney Plus, Star. I know this is going to sound like an ad here in a second, but which it's not. I'm not supported by Disney Plus. And I have been enjoying the fact that they added Star, which adds all the Fox catalog to Disney, because they own it, right? And they didn't add any additional costs, at least not right now. I imagine probably a year from now they'll up the cost. But anyway, yeah, I've been watching Futurama. And I forgot how hilarious, well, I didn't really forget, but how much I love Zap Brannigan. I want a Zap Brannigan costume. I want a Zap Brannigan outfit, you know. It's just, the lines that come out of him are just too damn funny. It's just, yeah, Zap Brannigan. But anyway, yeah, Disney Plus. I've been watching a lot of Futurama, and it's fantastic. Yeah, man, there's like all sorts of classics in there. Mr. V. Hey, Kris, just saw your Sigvald. Damn, came out so great. Yes, thank you. Somebody else had made the comment that mine should have been in that Games Workshop article from Warhammer Community the other day. It probably would have been in it had I gotten the model completed in time, but I didn't. I failed. And you know what? It's okay. I failed. It was a mismanagement of time and just, getting things prepared, and there's a few factors at play, and yeah. But yeah, I failed. That's okay. I'm fine with it. I'm not like, oh no, damn, I really wanted to be in that, Games Workshop article, and no, I'm not bent out of shape over it, I just eat some brownies and, goes right out of my head. I have a brownie or two to ease my pain. Special brownies, by the way, I'm talking about, not just regular brownies. Not like I'm some sort of chocolate freak or something. Scott Radum. Even Da Vinci was a beginner once. Yes, even Da Vinci. Any painter, any artist. You got to build upon it. Sure, some people start off with an advantage because they have that kind of, that mindset to see these things. Sure, that is an advantage. But as far as the motor skill is concerned, no. You can teach that. A lot of painting is a lot of motor skill. The artistic side comes in with the creativity and the vision, right? That's what separates a lot of painters, is some who are really lean, very artistic, and have that capacity for vision. Now, you can learn and develop that vision. I'm not 100% sure on how one does that. I want to say, reading, learning, getting to like the more abstract stuff, not abstract painting, but like, a lot of the color theory and, a lot of, seeing how technical elements apply, and, you know what I mean? Like, it's just developing your education in this regards, because again, you can learn it. I'm sure to be an artist, I'm sure you could learn it. And maybe that's why some people, when they, they take substances, they feel more creative, because I think really what it's doing is it's taking down those inner barriers, and it's just allowing those ideas to flow, right? And I think that's really what it is. And that's why some people, when they take those substances, they oh, I feel so artistic, and oh, I'm gonna paint, and you know what I mean? And it's not, I don't think there's really anything wrong with it to a certain point, because if you are taking that substance like a tool, not like a tool, but I mean like as an implement to see your vision forward, I really don't see too much wrong with that, but it's when it becomes habitual, then then you're kind of defeats the point. But anyway, Paul Knox, I love Sepultura and Soulfly. Yeah, Soulfly. Yeah. It's me, Seppi. Hi all. Hi. Mazzari stream. I love Canada. It's a nice country. Yeah, it is nice. Yeah, I've never been to Serbia. Mind you though, back when there was that little dust up in just before 2000, I almost joined the military to help peacekeep over there. Yeah, back then. But anyway, it's me, Seppi, alien ass. Paul Knox, Soulfly. Yeah, you said Soulfly. Soulfly. Enforcer also wanted to mention started a new D&D campaign, so I got motivated to start painting a lot more again. Cool. Awesome. That's awesome. That's good. That's good to hear. Yeah, anything that gets you motivated to paint. Like for me, like James, you probably are probably in the same vein as me. In the same vein? That doesn't sound right. But I find, like I have an art background, but I find what really motivates me to get painting done, like the models and everything like that, especially kind of sitting down and, painting out a squad, which is, there's nothing terribly artistic about that. You know what I mean? Like, it's not terribly exciting work, but it's necessary. And it's kind of just, machine, work, right? It's mechanical. And I found that playing fed my desire to paint. And when I was painting, that fed my desire to play. And it's this whole circle, So the playing fed my painting, and my painting fed my playing, And yeah, so maybe you have that same kind of mentality that, when you're painting, you're like, oh, I can't wait to play. And then when you're painting and you get something new, or something new happens, you want to do a conversion on the model, or, you want to add kill marks, or, whatever it is. And you're excited about your next sit down and paint session. Yeah, that you're probably in the same cycle as what I find myself in, where, when I'm playing, I want to paint, and when I'm painting, I want to play. And, it's this whole cycle of life. It's fun. It's a roller coaster, man. It's a roller coaster. And it's a lot of fun. Like, I'm just thinking about it right now. Yeah, a little bit hard. Anyway. Tetsuo. Hey, Kris. Have you painted anything in Kingdom Death lineup? I have the Ammo Slave, and I have another project, which Old Man Logan helped me out with. Something I've wanted to do for a long time. I just haven't gotten around to it. And, yeah. But I do have Kingdom Death models. I think I only have the Ammo Slave. I thought I had something else. But yeah, I do have a model that I've wanted to paint for a very long time. I've had this really fun idea. I wanted to see the vision forward. It was kind of going to be like a big series I wanted to do, just on how I went about the model. The Ammo Slave, I was actually thinking of repainting. I'm just not happy with where I was going with her. And so I'm thinking about stripping it and, repainting it. Something probably a little bit more efficient. Because I was kind of building up glazes and stuff like that, and I just wasn't happy with how it was all turning out. And so I'm thinking of something a little bit more efficient in, how I go about it. And yeah. But yeah, I do have some Kingdom Death stuff. I like Kingdom Death models. One of the other ones that I always wanted to pick up, but I never got around to, and now I don't even think you can find them. Probably some asshole out there is probably recasting them, but was the Wet Nurse. Not the pinup, but the big freaky demon looking thing. Yeah, I always liked that piece. It was perverted as hell, but it was really great sculpture and just tons of texture and detail. It's really fun. But not something that you could paint up to a really great display standard and put on your shelf for family and friends to come see and say, here, look at this. And meanwhile, there's this tentacle monster with, pregnant women all over the place. And you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, Kris, your nephews are here, and they're just small and impressionable. And it's like, oh, right, yeah, I guess they shouldn't be seeing, pregnant women, with tentacle monsters and stuff like that, right? So, yeah. I'm just saying that it's, I mean, I really enjoy Kingdom Death stuff, but it is a little on the risque side, right? Risque? But I mean, I like it. I would like to pick up the game, but damn, that's a pricey box, For Canadians, it's a pricey box. But apparently it weighs like a metric ton. Scott Radom, Star is rad. Can finally watch the rest of The Strain. Never watched The Strain. I've been watching, actually on Netflix, we've been watching The Sinner. It's actually a really, really interesting show. I'm still on the first season. But, yeah, if you have not watched The Sinner, it's a drama. It's twisted. I don't know where it's going. It's Bill Pullman and Jessica Biel. Jessica Biel is really, really interesting in this one. So, yeah. Jesus fucking Christ. That scared the shit out of me. What's that? Oi. Scarecrow of Was Straw Pies? Jesus Christ. Overdrive active. Thank you. Man, are we getting raided or something? Is what's going on here? Butgil Krieger. Well, thank you for the follow. Thank you. Subscribing? All you guys subscribing. All three of you. Jeez, at the same time, y'all. Guys at party? Is that what's going on here? Are you all sitting together like, we're going to mess up the stream. We're going to make that monkey scream for a good solid minute. Anyway, thank you for the follow. Thank you. Where was I? I don't remember. Fire Trick 18. Still waiting for that Swedish chef tutorial? Yeah. Yeah. I'll probably get sued for copyright. My luck, yeah. I'll put it out there, and it'll be, really fun. People will laugh and, enjoy it. And then, who owns the Muppets? Fuck, I think it's Disney now. I think owns the Muppets. Yeah, I think it's Disney that owns the Muppets. Yeah, because the Muppet Show. Yes, that's right. Because I saw the Muppet Show on Star. Because I was going to watch them. And my kids were like, really, Dad? Really? You're going to watch Muppets? Like, you're going to watch Sesame Street? It's not Sesame Street. It's Muppets. It's Muppets. It's more... it's the same. Paul Knox. Zap Brannigan was my best explanation to Wargamer Girl Miranda of my kill team tactics. My strategy is so simple. An idiot could have devised it. Knowing the preset limits of a kill bot. I said wave after wave of my own men. Mr. V, I'm a beginner to painting minis, and with social media, etc., it is super hard to not compare to experienced painters. I try not to, but sometimes I feel bad about the result of my minis. Don't feel bad about your. Don't. I mean, if you know you're a beginner, don't feel bad about like when you see somebody like like a Richard Gray, Andy Wardle, Ben Comments, Sam Lentz. You know what I mean? Like you see all these guys. I mean, there's many more. That was just the tip of the iceberg, and people I've personally met. But comparing yourself to their work, there's nothing wrong with aspiring to that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with wanting to, to emulate what they're doing, and inspiring your efforts. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. But do not get discouraged when your immediate results, your first results, are not like what you see, right? Because the thing you have to bear in mind is how long it took them to get to that point. They didn't just pick up the brush one day and bang. Oh, look at that. Golden Demon, right? They didn't do that. They spent many an hour. Now, some of them might have only taken 5 years to, become to that standard. But I'm sure that was like an everyday thing. You know what I mean? Like they were painting every day or every other day. Or painting, when they sat down, they painted for many hours and were, very meticulous in how they went about it. And of course, too, as well, personality, and also if they have, artistic backgrounds and, things of these nature, right? I mean, again, but just because anybody with an art background and then somebody who is relatively new to this, who doesn't have an art background, that shouldn't discourage you either. It just means that you're just going to have to pay more attention to what is happening. Excuse me. But don't be discouraged by it. And in, like I've said this many times, love your mistakes. Own your mistakes, love your mistakes, and be glad you're making mistakes. Because if you can recognize your mistakes, that means that you have enough sense up here to recognize that wasn't exactly what you wanted, and you want it to go further. You want it to become better. Right? So, when you do see you make a mistake, like Gary Busey, when you do see that you are, that doesn't sound right. But anyway, when you see that occurring, love it, own it, accept it, and be thankful you recognize it. Because that means you're learning. And yes, it is going to take you some time, and you are going to have to put in the effort. And I think that's why a lot of people fall out of this hobby, because some people are looking for that quick fix. Just like in everything else in life, people are looking for that quick fix. And in this hobby, it's the same thing. People just, kind of get discouraged that, there's no easy solutions. You still have to put the effort in. Like some people back in the day considered airbrush, cheating, whatever that is. I don't know what cheating in this hobby is, but they considered it that. And that was false because it was just another tool, and people in scale modeling were using airbrushes all the time. In fact, majority of them use airbrushes. A lot of them don't use, paintbrush and stuff like that. They don't actually, a lot of scale modelers actually aren't that proficient in that brush work because a lot of them tend to be older men. And they're looking for a more efficient way to do things, right? Because they only have so much time because a lot of them are either, working and only have a little bit of hobby time. They have family lives and you know what I mean? Like, so that's where a lot of these techniques, like the weathering and stuff like that and using all these different materials. And like I picked up from scale modelers, the using Pledge Future Floor Shine as a gloss varnish between layers and just as a finishing. I picked that up from the scale modelers, right? Many years ago, and it's stuck with me ever since, and it's fantastic, cost effective, and it works. Sure, yeah, you gotta take a couple extra steps to clean your brush, but it works great. So again, love your mistakes and own your mistakes, because that means you're learning. You are learning. You're just gonna have to put the time in. It's me, Seppi. Do you have experience with resin 3D printers? Debating picking up one up and narrowed it down to 2 or 3. No, I have zero experience playing with 3D resin printers. I don't even have any 3D printer. I'm familiar with them. I set them when Mini Wargaming first picked up one. I set that one up, got that one going, and I learned a lot. Setting that up and making it work and doing the test prints and stuff like that. And yeah, I learned a lot, and it made me want to get a printer for myself. I just haven't gotten around to it. Again, not made of money. So yeah. Paul 0132. Hey Kris, I'm doing the hourglass on the Space Marine Judicaire. What colors would you suggest for doing a transparent effect? I would stick with whites, light grays, and depending on what kind of the hourglass, that's kind of a tough one because where you're imagining, say, the glass and the sand, and you want to create that look between the two, whites, light grays, and a light blue for the glass portions, and go with white, light bones. So, like Screaming Skull or Ushabti Bone, or yeah, and for the sand part, right? If you're gonna do an hourglass with the sand, yeah. But mind you, though, that's imagining though that sand looks like typical sand, in which we see typical sand, which is that like golden color, right? It's kind of a like almost like a khaki color, right? Or you can imagine it some other color sand. Whatever actually, whatever the rest of your model looks like, you can make the sand look like that. But to the viewer, it might not read that way immediately. So bear that in mind. So you might want to stick within the traditional sense of it's a khaki colored sand that's in that hourglass, and you know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, if we're just gonna bust out like what kind of colors to use, yeah, you're gonna use a white, light gray, and possibly a light blue. For the glass portion, and for the sand, I would stick with white and like Screaming Skull and Ushabti Bone. Maybe something like Argyros Dunes. Argyros Dunes? I think that's the color. It's a contrast. It's really fantastic. It's a really yellowy brown color. It's really fun. It's almost a really good base for doing yellow. Like if you highlight it with yellows and just use that like a shade, yeah, it looks really cool. Especially for those who want to go with a brown yellow, like a lot of Imperial Fists player, either go with the orange yellow or they go with the brown yellow. Argyros Dune, I think it's called Argyros Dune. I'm not grabbing the color, but yeah. What was I talking about? Anyway, Old Man Logan, Lantern Lady is the other project you were talking about, I think. Yeah, happy Saturday, by the way. Yeah, and that was Old Man Logan who sent me a model. That was a while ago too. Thank you. yeah, he knows what the project I want to do. I don't want to say it because I just don't want to, you know, I don't want to give anybody ideas. I don't want to throw it out. I'm not ready for that idea to get thrown out into the universe. But yeah. Tetsuo, I have the original Wet Nurse. Oh yeah? Oh, cool. Yeah. Again, I mean, you do, like, I've seen that one done up as a diorama, and like it looks like a tile work. It looks like it's like in a bathroom or something like that, and it has, you know, the monster and all the girls and everything like that. And yeah, that's not something like, even if you painted that to a standard which would show up in magazines and everything like that, and like, you know, everybody would lose their shit over. That's still not something I think you'd be comfortable having on your mantle when all your friends and family come over, and it's like Christmas, and it's like, oh, we're having eggnog, and you know, or whatever. We're all in our ugly Christmas sweaters and drinking eggnog, and what the fuck is that on the shelf? Is that a tentacle monster with pregnant naked women? Like, what the hell is going on there? You know, and I mean, you know, it's fantastic, but you know, mind you though, if you're looking for a conversation starter, bring somebody over to your house. Now they might think you're a serial murderer. Maybe they might. I mean, you know, if I was out on a date or something like that, seen that on the shelf, what's the deal with this here? What are you trying to say? Oh my god, I had snoo. Reziel, definitely need an adult shelf somewhere. It won't traumatize the kiddos. Yeah, you know, like it's adult kind of content, right? So, you know, it there's nothing wrong with it, but there is a place and time for those kind of things, right? You know, yeah. Snoo. Mikey RR, it's a conspiracy. It is a conspiracy. Shorty Paint Studios. There's so many great resources out there that can also help you. Oh, there's tons. This is an amazing age to be in, to you know, to learn and develop all these skill set, almost any skill set really, because I mean, there's so many like videos on welding and carpentry, and you know what I mean. Like, pick a subject matter. You can go on YouTube and pick a subject matter, and there's tons of videos on it, right? Cooking's a big one, right? You know, like, how do I cook this particular thing? Go to YouTube. There's a video. How to cook it. Yeah, okay. That looks good to me. And you know what I mean? Like, and same with painting. You know, I mean, myself, I have tons of tutorials out there on this channel, you know, on painting various subjects. And, you know, I'll still keep doing it as long as people keep watching it and, you know, giving feedback, and, you know what I mean? Like, I'll keep doing it. If people stop watching them, then yeah, I'll stop doing them. Where am I? I don't even know. Enforcer, Kris is in love with that cocoa. Ghost Star Looks, hey monkeys, after a few weeks, I finally sent in an email with my shirt pick to appease the monkey lord. Cool, did you? Oh, you did too. Son of a bitch. Okay, we're gonna have to get to that shortly. Oh, I had this tab up. Why did I have this tab up? Was I going to talk about this? Just new releases. GW new releases. Oh yeah, because the new Kill Team, right? Team Pariah Nexus. Or Kill Team Pariah. Whew, wow, I can't read. Pariah Nexus. Yeah, because we were looking at that because they did the preview a while back. It had all the little Necron-y terrain bit things. They're pretty cool. I mean, I'm not, you know, super jazzed up about it because it's Necrons and Space Marines. You know, but, I mean, everybody else. Sure, you know. Beauty, eh? Beauty, eh? Paul Knox. What Kris said took me ages to realize. I'm painting for me, not a pro. I will get better. May not that high, 'tis fine. Right. Maybe not that high, 'tis fine. And Kris just now said it all better. LOL. Yeah. I mean, you know, love your mistakes. Own your mistakes, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. And in fact, you know, again, learn from them. And if you realize that it's a mistake, that's a good thing, because that means you're learning. If you realize that's a mistake, because you know what I mean, like somebody makes a mistake and just keeps on going, they don't realize it. There's oftentimes, I mean, when I see people doing that, oftentimes I don't think there's much going on up here, right? So if you can recognize a mistake and you go, oh, I made a mistake. And you can own a mistake and love the mistake. That means you're learning. That's good. That's a good thing. That means you have the capacity to grow. People who don't recognize their mistakes, yeah, there's not a lot going on up here. They're not very self-conscious about their actions. They're not very self-aware, right? And we all know people like that. We all know people like that. It's not a fair assessment to say that all people are like that, but sometimes it does feel like there's quite a few. But yeah. Enforcer 357. Kris in the military. I feel he would just be a Rambo, but instead of a combat knife, a paintbrush. Yeah, I can still kill a motherfucker with a paintbrush, though. You just sharpen it. It's just as good as any old sharpened stick. you can still kill a motherfucker with a sharpened stick. Yeah, the new game meant new models that would need to be made, and I was the only guy who has an art background, so I'm hyped to paint stuff for the game. Yeah, and yeah, James. You're probably a similar cat to me. I mean, I'm not gonna say you're a younger version of me, or whatever. You are your own dude, of course, dude. You're a dude, and yeah. But I mean, hopefully, I think that kind of made sense. I mean, the painting and the gaming both fueled excitement to do both. You know what I mean? And yeah, so yeah. Ghost of Starman Deluxe. Have an 18+ section on your home mini gallery. LOL. Hire a bouncer and get him to check IDs. Yeah, good. We should probably. We probably should. I probably should have the website marked 18+. Because there is stuff that I want to do and take care of, and things I want to make that actually would be very not safe for work. And so yeah, I probably should have an 18+ section. And even this show really. I'm pretty sure I have it marked not for younger audiences. I think I'm both on Twitch and YouTube. So yeah, I'm not kid friendly with this program at all. But that's fine, because again, I honestly, there's a lot of trouble when you make things for kids. You can get into a lot of trouble, and people have very high expectations of your moral character when you are dealing with kids versus adults, because everyone, once you've reached adulthood, you kind of don't give a shit about this or that, right? You're not that worked up about it. But with kids, though, especially somebody who's entertaining or educating with kids, right? As a parent, there's a certain expectation of the moral character of that person, right? And any deviancy from your imagined or perceived persona when dealing with them, the parents will just rip your head off, right? Right, and rightly so. I mean, when my kids were small, and I heard one of the teachers was some sort of sexual deviant, oh yeah, that person would have got disappeared for sure. So yeah. Anyway, where am I here? Enforcer Kris. Kids don't need to be exposed to hentai this early. Well, they don't need to. No. Should they? That's another question. But they don't need to. Oh man, good thing. It's a good thing I don't make this for freaking kids, because yeah, I'd get in trouble right there. Paul Knox. I see my mistakes and think, don't do that next time. Yeah, exactly, right? Because again, I mean, you have a certain vision in your head, you're painting a model, and it's not the way you want it. You go, okay, well, next time. You could get into the mindset of, well, I'll just strip it and do it over. Like I was just talking earlier about, stripping some other projects and stuff like that. And I've done I've done plenty of stripping, people. But when you are relatively inexperienced and new to this whole thing, this whole miniature painting gig, I strongly recommend you not strip your early efforts. Reason being is so that one day, way down the road, when you are winning awards or creating display pieces or creating great sculpts and, you know what I mean, wherever you end up, right? You can always whip out that other model. He can whip it out and say, well, where was my first early efforts? And then here's where I am today. Right? That speaks so many volumes to inexperienced people. And in fact, we were talking about like a little pat on the back for people. There's nothing wrong with giving somebody a pat on the back and saying, yeah, go ahead, do it, pursue it. And there's nothing wrong with encouraging people. I don't see how that is a negative in any way, shape, or form. Yet we seem to be in this idea that giving somebody a pat on the back is a bad thing. Encouraging somebody to go, yeah, pursue that dream. I mean, now me being a bit of a realist, I'll go, it's going to be a hard journey. You're going to fail a lot, but that's okay. You might fall on your face. And that's okay, right? You might lose a finger, but that's okay. But anyway, yeah. So, just hang on to those early efforts. I would strongly recommend hanging on to those early efforts. I totally wish I still had my first models. And I can see them in my head because I was an old Imperial Guard. There was a Ralpartha Dragon, which I later cut up and used his wings for Chaos Conversion because it was really nice. It had beautiful texture. I put it on the Nurgle Champion. The old Nurgle sculpt where he had like a long cloak and he was holding like a pistol. Yeah, I converted him up and I gave him these long kind of baby dragon from Ralpartha. It was a baby dragon wings. They were perfect scale for him. They look great. They fit to him proportionally and everything like that. Anyway. At the time, I thought just brilliant. I'm sitting there, patting myself on the back kind of thing, right? And then I think back on it, it's like, nah, that was probably crap. That was probably crap. Nobody would give a shit about that. But anyway, yeah. I'd give almost anything to get some of those balls back. Which is probably why I have been on a kick in the last couple of years of reacquiring some old materials that I had back in the day. I was talking about the old Space Marine. It came in the painting set, the old Space Marine paint set. It came with the guide for painting Space Marines. I recently reacquired that. I had it way back in the day because I had the Space Marine paint set. I had all the paint sets because, I was learning and, this was the hobby and, I was enjoying it. And this is, it was my happy time, right? Between other things, of course, but it wasn't like the soul. It wasn't like it was all consuming or anything like that. But anyway, yeah, I've been on that kick lately of kind of reacquiring a lot of old things that I had way back in the day. And it's just, and old minis would be one. I still have some of my really old paint jobs. Where I don't know. I was thinking of doing some videos of me digging through my bits box and stuff like that and finding some of these old models to paint up and, to do a contemporary paint job on. I was thinking about something like that. Maybe I will. I don't know. But anyway, what time we at here? 120. Holy cramoles. 120 already. Where the frick am I? Enforcer. It's Disney and just call it the Scandinavian Cook. You got to go off-brand it. Yeah. Just call it the Scandinavian Cook. Yeah. Then all the Scandinavian folk will get mad at me. Stereotyping them. Not that I'm worried about that. It's just, Old Man Logan. Kris, born Belleau. Killing people with a butt-sized zero brush. Size zero brush. Yeah. I joke. I wouldn't actually kill anybody. Mikey RR. Surely, not safe for work depends where you work. True. Because I work at home. So would I say it's not safe for home? Oh, new category. Not safe for home. Ghost of Starman Deluxe. In before Kris starts drawing furry porn. Yeah. 10 years ago, I'd have been like, what the fuck is furry porn? Today, I know exactly what it is. Sadly. It's me, Seppi. Once you commit to for kids, there's a lot of gray area because people raise their kids so differently. Oh yeah, that's the other one. Yeah, exactly right. Because I mean, like, I can't sit here and go, well, kids should be like this and blah blah blah. And here, you know what I mean? Like, especially because because you have so many different upbringings, right? You have like Christians and other religions, and you just have people who are very progressive and very conservative, and you know what I mean. And so like everybody is very very different, and you know what I mean. And people are very protective of their kids, and rightfully so, as everybody should be, right? I fully endorse being very protective of kids, not to the point of shielding them, but some things are just a little too early for developing brains. A lot of concepts, even just concepts, a little bit early. 4-year-old, 5-year-old, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of things, you know what I mean, that they're not ready for, so. And I mean, when you're putting this stuff on YouTube, and nowadays that all these freaking idiot parents, they give their kids cell phones and tablets and stuff like that, and they're sitting there and the kids are just plugging away, and oh man. Now some of those parents, I just want to kick them right in the ass. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, get that device out of that kid's head, because they're gonna grow up. Not even grow up. They're not even gonna grow up. They're gonna just get older and just be this narcissistic thing, addicted to social media and stuff like that, and very very skewed worldview. Especially if if the parents aren't guiding where their eyes are, right? I'm not saying they need horse blinders, but no, I don't agree with. Okay, we've talked about this one in the past many times, and people know that I'm not above spanking a child at a certain point. Once it stops being effective, you stop around 3-4. That's usually about when that kind of disciplinary action is no longer needed. You move on to other tactics. But yeah, that kind of thing. I think that the tablet thing versus physical discipline, I think the tablet is far more damaging to a child's upbringing than a spank on the bottom. That is far more damaging and has longer lasting repercussions than a spank on the bottom. So, yeah. Enforcer, as a response to the previous stated comment about the new and comparing to pros as someone who did the same forever, don't compare, use it for inspiration as a tool to drive you to learn and to succeed. Oh, definitely. Yes, exactly. That's exactly right, Enforcer. Yeah. No. Because oftentimes, like, this is going to sound a little preachy, but when you are comparing yourself to somebody who is at a certain level that you want to emulate, and you become very disappointed that your efforts are not there, that is, and you get really kind of upset about that. Yeah, that borders on envy, and that's no good. That's gonna hinder your progress, because then you have this mental block about things, and then you become very sour towards everything. And no, it's damaging. It's all damaging. Don't do it. Again, love your mistakes. Embrace your mistakes. Learn from your mistakes. Paul Knox. Oh, totally. I keep my old models. I love them. But the child thing happened to a friend, Ashley, who's a Twitch streamer. Parent raging at her in chat for swearing, and us saying, it's listed 18 plus. You okayed this. Ha ha ha. Yeah. Again, when dealing with, like, when doing this stuff, this whole creating content thing, which there are tons of people doing, but some people don't consider their actions. Again, sometimes, there's a lot of people that don't have a lot going on up here, right? And yeah, it's just, that's why I don't play that game. That's why none of my stuff will ever be for kids. I'm not going to make kid stuff because no, as a parent, yeah, no. I'd rather make adult content. Like, even as it came out of my mouth, I was like, oh, no, oh, shit. Oh, no, I gave them ammo. And they already have the rifles. Now they've got bullets. Yeah. Nah, fuck it. I'll own it. Yeah, I'm making adult content. The OnlyFans? Yeah, I got the OnlyFans. No, I don't. Oh, man. Here we go. I can already see the comments moving in. Paul Ducks. Old paint model showcase would be a nice vid. Just showing. Yeah. Oh, Paul, you're going to make me dig up all my old models, aren't you? I still have a few of them because I have like an old weird boy. Yeah, I have a lot of my old paint jobs, stuff that I haven't touched in like 20, 30 years. My oldest, though, is probably an old Weird Boy. That one is definitely early 90s. It's probably one of my oldest. I wish I had something from like my 88 days, 89, especially when I first discovered Warhammer. Because I Space Hulk, then Warhammer. I was interested in the models, got into Space Hulk, Warhammer, right? That's the arc I went. And yeah, when I really got into Warhammer is when I really started buying up a lot of models, and it's really started, kind of really getting into the whole aspect of painting and everything like that. And that's about like 89, 90 kind of thing, right? So, yeah. Ghost Star Man Deluxe. Some digging through old minis type videos would be very cool, in my opinion. Yeah, that'd be fun. A little journey. I mean, I've got tons of bit boxes and stuff like that. I've got a lot of old models, stuff I'll probably never touch. I don't know. Unless, of course, man, I don't. No, I don't even want to think of possible scenarios where, I'm not even going to say it. I'm not even putting it out into the ether. Where am I? Ghost Star Man Deluxe. Not sure when I'll give my kids cell phones. Not that I've got any kids. I don't get one till I was 15, which I think was a bit late. Plenty of time for me to consider. I don't think that's a late time. I'm sure it was probably hard for you in this day and age at 15. Because I'm sure probably so many people in your class probably had cell phones. And I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. I mean, 15 is an okay age for it. In fact, I probably would agree with your folks that 15 is an okay age, because you're really starting to enter adulthood at that point. Not that you're an adult, you're just beginning. You know what I mean? Like, the consequences of your actions are becoming more cemented at that age, as opposed to like when you were 10 or 11. You're still invincible at that. You're still invincible at 15, up to 18, sometimes 25. You still think you're invincible, and I mean, that's just maturity at that point. But again, everybody develops differently, right? Definitely, though, young boys and girls, though, yeah, they should not have cell phones, especially before 15. I don't agree. 15, I mean, you could argue back and forth, sure, and I might agree either way. 14, 13, 10, 11, no way. 8, 9, oh God, no. And any lower than that, definitely should not be playing with cell phones and tablets. And not having your own accounts and, you know what I mean? Like all that, definitely, 100%, no. Not in this day and age. Not with how reactionary everything is. you know, and how a lot of stuff is very unfiltered. Now, does that mean that the internet needs to become kid friendly? No, absolutely not. No, because the world is not kid friendly. This entire planet is not kid friendly. Your wherever city you're in is not built for kids. It's built for adults, built for people, built for society. It is up to parents to manage and influence the development of their children. It's the parents' job. It's solely within the parents. It's not the government's place to dictate what is kid friendly and what is not. That's not the government's place. I hold that view. It's the parents, right? There's no bad kids. There's only bad parents, right? I'm a firm believer in that tenet that, you know, there's no bad kids, only bad parents. And so those bad kids become bad adults. Well, blame the parents of those bad adults. They become old people. Well, still blame their parents. And then their kids are going to be bad, right? And it's a cycle. It's all everything around us is always cycles. And yeah, no. At least in my view. So in my house, and now mind you, Kris is a little bit strict. Sure, I am. I have been known to be a little bit. I've been called tyrant once. So yeah, but anyway. Where am I here? It's me, Seppi. Kris's OnlyFans incoming. Yeah. Ghost of Starman still waiting on Kris's OnlyFans. All right. Mikey R. Too late, it said. Scott Radham. Wu-Tang Clan is for the children. Never too young to learn. Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with. Enforcer. I can't be younger. I'm a younger Seth MacFarlane. That's true. Yeah, that's true. You can't be younger me. You're a younger Seth MacFarlane. It's me, Seppi. I got my first phone when I started walking home from school by myself, though that was back when Snake on a phone was a big deal, so it's different now. When Snake on a phone? I don't even know what the fuck that means. When did my kids get phones? Oh, they were about 15, 16. Yeah, they didn't get phones until about then. And that was, well, my daughter's going to be 19 this year. She's my baby. So, yeah, 4 years ago. 5 years ago. Either way. I never had a cell phone. The only thing I was responsible for when I was, 13, 14, my house key. I was a latchkey kid. So, yeah, my parents worked. Well, I lived with my mom. It's just me and my mom. And so my mom worked. And, yeah, I was, by myself, like, most of the day. Well, except when at school, of course. But, you guys know what I mean. Raziel, I'm a dude, playing a dude, disguised as another dude. No fucks. My kid is 10 and been using tablets and stuff. She got a cell phone this year, but we got an app and internet usage caps, block sites and such. I played games like a fiend since 5. Teach them balance. Sure. It's not how I was raised, but I can only do what I know. So, I mean, if you think that you turned out okay, then why not? I mean, again, it's up to the parents to raise their kids. It's not up to anybody else. As I was going to say about my point about society and stuff like that, like when you go driving down the street and you pass the adult bookstore, you see hookers on the street, you see bums and stuff like that, right? You see all the things of society, all the aspects of society. You don't sit there and, put blindfold on your kid in the car seat, right? No, you drive around and you go to these places. Kid ain't going to care about those things, right? But when they're on those devices and that stuff is popping up, they can only engage with it, right? And there's certain things kids just are not mature enough to engage with. Yes, I realize that things should not be dumbed down for kids. That you should, when you're raising small children, that like I always learned that you like, even with babies, when you talk baby talk, oh, doing that kind of stuff. Don't do that to kids. Talk to them like you would a person, because that's who they are. They are a person, right? And so, yeah, when I'm holding my kids, I talk to them like I would talk to them today, for the most part. Of course, it was usually just goofy stuff and me making silly faces and, stuff like that. But because I was always interested in getting a laugh out of my kids, because it always brought me quite a bit of joy seeing them giggle and laugh and, arms flailing about. And, you know what I mean? Like, kids are just fantastic. And, they're like little balls of clay, So, yeah. But like little balls of clay, you let it hit the floor, it's going to pick up all sorts of crap on the floor. Stuff it's not ready for. That can influence the final outcome, if you're following along with that analogy. There's like little balls of clay, and if it hits the floor and it rolls along, it's going to pick up all sorts of crap from the floor, right? And it's not ready for that, because that little ball of clay has to take its shape, and then it has to become tempered until it takes its form. Now, mind you, as an adult, it's not, you're not going from childhood to, adult, and you're going to stay that form your entirety of your life. You are continually evolving, right? It's still, the analogy only works pretty much just for a small child, not adults, because we're always changing, even as adults. How I am is not who I was 10 years ago, is not who I was 20 years ago, right? So, and we're all the same way. Anyway. I have no idea where the hell I am. Ghost Starman Deluxe. To be fair, I lived in the middle of nowhere growing up with a few other kids nearby and had very little ability to talk to my friends. Yeah. Shade Shadow, Way the Brush, episode 335. Kris, the tyrant of cell phones. You know what? I'm going to run with that for now. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, honestly, this technology, to me, as fantastic as it all is, and as beneficial as it is, there's also great inherent danger in it all as well, Just like a gun. It's like a gun. It's a tool, but it can also be used to feed and protect your family. It can also do a lot of damage as well. Same thing with cell phones, the internet. It's a tool, and how we use it plays a big part in its role within our society, right? And it should be regarded as such. Right now, we're still in the midst of the Wild West of it all. For the most part. 20 years ago was really the Wild West, but yeah. So much crap proliferates from it. Still exists today from it. Anyway. Enforcer. What you said about the journey, Kris, that the joy and thrill of it, the unknown and the mistakes along the way that make us better, it's what makes it worth the risk. Yes, I agree. It definitely. In almost any aspect of life. Take a chance. Don't be afraid to take a chance. Weigh the costs. If you live up here a lot, weigh the cost. But don't be afraid to take the chance. No fear. There's so much fear. Fear-mongering. So much fear-mongering. Don't do it. Don't be afraid. Weigh the costs. Educate yourself. Learn. Keep learning. Always keep learning. Always perpetually be learning. And be excited about learning. It's me, Seppi. The snake game. Or the game snake. I still don't know what that is. You, Grim. I remember the game snake. I don't remember the game snake. You guys... Man, I was born in the 70s, man, so... I have no fucking clue as to what you're talking about. Damn millennials. Again, you know, no bad kids. When they talk about like this whole generational thing, yeah, it's not bad kids. It's bad parents. So, yeah. Oh, man. Ghost of Starman. I didn't get my own house key until I was at least 16. Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, everybody's a little different. It's not the same. It's not like there's a guide that says, yeah, at this age, you should be this way. And this age, this way. And in fact, we fall into a lot of pitfalls when we adopt that kind of mentality that by this age, you should be this way. By this age, you should be this. By this, you should be doing this. You know what I mean? Like these milestones, right? And life is not like that. And human development is not like that. Some get there first, some get there later. And both are fine. Getting there early does not mean you're any better. It just means you got there first. You know? And getting there later, again, equally doesn't mean bupkis. Right? You get there when you get there. As Gandalf says, right? Is it Gandalf? No, who the fuck says that? He arrives precisely when he means to, yes. Anyway. No fucks given. I have used a ton of cell phone... I have tons of phone numbers memorized. I tried asking if she wanted an Xbox or PC to do gaming. She likes Roblox and Minecraft on tablet. Okay. Reziel, Kris, I'm only slightly disappointed you didn't paint a tattoo on Sigvald's ass. Yeah, I could have. Like a little heart with the arrow in it. Yeah. Anyway. Enforcer, Kris, drawing furry porn. Do I hear a new show name? Wait, Odabrush? Wait, Odabrush? I don't even know what that means. Again, you damn kids are freaking me out. No fucks. I also give her extra time on her tablets if she does classes on Khan Academy. Okay. I don't know what Khan Academy is, but again, you kids and your internets. You kids raising kids. Grib. To clarify, I was indeed referring to the game Snake. Game Snake as well. Yeah, again, I still don't know what Game Snake is. You guys keep saying it. I don't know what it is. You're going to have to send me a link as to what you're talking about because I have no idea. And But sure enough, you'll send me it and then I'll go, oh, that. Yeah. But I'll just say that now. Oh, that. Enforcer. So, Kris, around 3 or 4, should we try waterboarding or Chinese water torture? What? How the hell did we get onto waterboarding? I'm trying to go back to the comments here. What? No fucks given. Those early 90s AOL chat rooms were definitely Internet Wild West, the dawn of trolls. Well, no, trolls have always been around. It just, with the proliferation of the internet, it is given rise to more voices. But yeah, trolls have always been around. It's just, not many of them had a platform. Now everybody can pretty much have a platform, right? Mikey R, I've got to bounce. My internet is too patchy to watch without constant buffering. Oh, too bad. Okay, Mikey. Check you later. It's me, Seppi. It came out in 76. The Snake game? The game Snake? I still don't know what that is. You mean Snake? Like just the and it picks up little dots? That? Is that what we're talking about? Oh. That's how it went. Yeah. Oh, man. Anyway. Shade Shadow. Oh, no, he took my title. Now I have to send in a painting email. That's the rule. Yeah, that's true. That's the rule now. You know what? That's a good rule. I like that rule. Brannigan's law is like Brannigan's love. Hard and fast. Fucking Futurama was so great. Oh. Oh man, I've been loving it. And oh, the other part too is on Netflix. It always started at season 8 for Family Guy, and now have all the Family Guy. It's great. It makes that Disney subscription, just adding that star, makes that so much more worth it now. I was already happy with it before, but now it's even better. But I mean, Disney's got all the money, so I mean, yeah, they better put out, the best damn shit out there, right? Because I mean, they have all the money, and they want to continue to have all the money. So, why not? If they're willing to make the best shit and make and keep it at a good price and and offer tons and tons of value, yeah, I'm in. A deal's a deal, and I'm always in for a deal. Ghost of Starman, you don't know Snake? Where you control the little snake moving around the screen, collecting apples, and trying not to hit yourself. Yeah. Okay, boomer. Fuck off. Boomer. I ain't a boomer. Boomers are people born after World War II, man. Jeez. Pick up a goddamn history book. Your parents are probably boomers. Anyway. Because my parents were boomers. Yeah, the snake, yeah. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah. That's what we're talking about? Yeah, okay, I remember that one, yes. I had an Atari. 2600? Yeah. Oi, shitbags. Man, that scared the shit out of me.
Was a Kris Sill leave this here for no apparent reason. Cold sweat, smile, cold sweat, smile, cold sweat, smile.
Cold sweat, smile. All right, cold sweat, smile. Well, thank you, Leonid Lopez, for the super chat. What's up, Kris? I'll just leave this here for no apparent reason. Yeah, thank you. Cold sweat, smile. Yeah, I'm kind of sweaty, actually. I had steak and eggs for breakfast today. I don't feel hungry, but I am feeling a little peckish. I could eat. I could have something to eat. Anyway. It's me, Seppi. Ah, yes, the famous Gandalf quote. I'll get there when I get there. On the third day, look to the east. I'll be there when I get there. Could you imagine friggin' Lord of the Rings if I was like that? I'll be there when I be there. Just calm down. Aragorn, calm down. Just calm down, buddy. See, that's why I could never be a wizard. I'm too laid back. Too much of a smart ass. Like, just chill the fuck out, Aragorn. I'll be there, for God's sakes, man. Calm down. People are dying. Yeah. Whatever. Anyway. What the hell? Kris the Starman. Yeah, my parents are literal boomers. Just barely within the age range. Yeah, same with mine. Mine were born in the 50s. That's a boomer. Late 40s and 50s is boomers. 60s? Oh no, I think 60s also falls in that range too, right? Mid 60s is X, right? Gen X. To the late 70s, I think. Because I think I fall in that Gen X category. I don't know. I was born in 75. So, yeah. I don't know. You do the fucking math. I'm not doing the math. I'll get there when I get there. Let's jump over to the email side. Holy crap. Yeah, we got 10 minutes left of the show. We got 10 minutes left. Holy crap. We got to hurry up. It's game time. Put your game faces on, people. If you're wearing headphones, turn them up or down, because here it comes. Email time. It's email time. Oh, it's done. I don't hear it, so I just don't, Oops. Damn it. I didn't want that to show. Son of a bitch. Ugh, I hate when this does that. I'm sorry, B-Man. Showing your email. Brandon says, I tried OSL. Didn't work. For the Hex camo, I used stencils from Fallout Hobbies and an airbrush. Should I drill out the fusion blaster barrels like the melt-the-gun, or are they more of an energy beam? Forgot to attach pictures. So he sent in pictures, and he's doing some OSL. me switch windows here. There we go. So he's using it looks like a regular camo, or is it a digital camo? Yeah, I can see it on the guns. I don't see it on the thigh. It's just on the shoulders and the arms. I don't see it on the feet. I don't know. Now, I don't know if this is finished or what, but I like the color scheme. I like that bold white with the red on it and then the red symbols. I like that. Drilling out the barrels. I would drill out the barrels. Yeah, are they kind of like, are they like gun barrels or are they like emitters? I'm sure you could argue it either way. I don't know. What do you see in the artwork for Fusion Blaster? Do they have a hole? Are they more like a gun barrel or are they more like an emitter? I don't even know. I don't even know. Anybody out there who's really into their Tau, are Fusion Blasters, the things up on his shoulders, are those or are they ones on the ground or on his arm? I don't know. Either way, are they a barrel or are they like an emitter? Let me know down below. Anybody who's really steeped in their Tau. Oh, these are scratches in the armor. Ah, very good. Very good. Now, when you were doing the camo? Oh no, there is camo on the leg. Okay. When you were doing laying the stencil down, were you doing it on top of the assembled model, or were you painting these sections separately and then doing it? It's just because if you were doing the stencil while he was fully assembled, it just kind of would be a pain in the ass versus, doing it in sub-assemblies, spraying those areas all individually and then assembling them, But anyway. Yeah, the OSL. I'm going to assume when we're talking OSL, we're talking about these guns right here, right? Okay, ignoring the gun barrel issue. I have no idea if they should be holes or not. So I would not, criticize either way. Always remember that when you're going for an OSL effect, you're looking to create gradients on the surface. Now, if you have an airbrush, you have a far easier time. Not easier, but, well, for lack of a better way of describing it, you do have an easier way to create gradients on a surface, right? If you have an airbrush. In fact, airbrushes are really great ways of creating quick gradients on a surface. And so I'd highly recommend you do that. For the ends of the barrels, yeah, I would probably go with that really light blue and then push the darker blue out towards the back of the gun. So it's going backwards. Now, you could also do inside those grills. You could also put brighter color in the grill and then create a slight glow around the grill. That's also an option. With the airbrush, you can create these gradients relatively easily, as long as you can control your PSI and the thinness of the paint. You should be well on your way. Now, the way it's done, I'm seeing here, it is a little uniform. And you need to be a little bit more controlled in regards to how the light is playing on that surface. And with OSL, I've done a couple things demonstrating OSL on models and stuff like that. If you look back in some of my older videos on this channel, it is relatively straightforward. It's not that hard. And really the big thing to remember is that light travels in a straight path. And, so where we have it gathering sometimes is not exactly entirely logical. But yeah. And also the other thing too with OSL is it's the object source lighting. So when you're looking at these guns, what precisely is emitting the light? And so obviously that requires a bit of imagination, and you can make any element on a model the source of the light source. A light source. A model can have multiple light sources. It doesn't have to be one light sourcing, right? And essentially that's what you're doing here. You're doing a light sourcing on both guns. It's not one light source on those guns. those guns, at the end of the guns, there is a light sourcing, right? And yeah. So you have many options, but you're always looking to create a gradient. If it was just the ends of the guns, realistically, the light would not push back as far as what we are perceiving here, like back behind the grill. Now, if the light sourcing was within those grills, then yes, we would have that occurrence of light gathering around the edges like that, getting brighter towards the source of the light. And realistically, that it's entirely how you imagine it. Yeah, I like it. I like the color scheme. I like the camo. Yeah, it feels like Mech Warrior. Is that what that is? Is that Mech Warrior? B, is that what you did? You made Mech Warrior? I like the coloring on that, on the crotch armor and his shoulder armor. I like that band of white and khaki. I like that. Yeah, it looks really good. Yeah, I like the scratches too, as well. I really like your scratches. I don't know if they need to go all the way to a black. I think you probably could have got away with going with a really, really dark, whatever your base color is. That looks more like, I don't know, Mechanic is green or something. It's a dark army green, right? If you don't have a darker color of that in your collection, you could just simply take like a dark brown or black and mix a tiny amount of that into your base color to create that dark shadow in the armor. Going all the way to a black gives the impression that the scratch goes very deep. Versus if it's a darker shade of the base color, then it feels more like a surface scratch. If that makes sense. But how you highlighted it on the bottom edge of the scratches is correct. I like it. I like it. Like the scratches work very well. I think the next thing to consider is their placement and like what are they representing? Are they representing Tyranid scratchies? So they would be kind of like, you know, scratches like up by the head or at the feet, or like on the fists or on the shoulders. You know what I mean? Versus like say the toes. Would the toes really have those kind of monster scratches, or would it be wearing? Right. Again, when you're getting into weathering and stuff like that, you are, you know, telling a narrative within that piece. You know, that's another consideration. But I mean, I really enjoyed this whole color scheme. Yeah, it feels like a bit Mech Warrior, or yeah, I is this a standard Tau thing? Again, I'm not sure. You know, I'm not up on current Tauness, but yeah. Reziel, yeah, drill them out. They don't need to be deep, though. No. Leonid Lopez, aren't they supposed to be pulse energy weapons? Tau don't use bullets or projectiles besides the missiles and rockets. Well, it's made up stuff. But, I mean, really, I guess the big tell is if they, like in the artwork, if, like, you know, the blasters have barrels. I mean, there's no reason that an energy weapon couldn't have a gun barrel, right? I mean, it all depends on how we imagine the energy, right? If it's like a plasma, which is, you know, essentially the fourth state of matter, you can imagine a gun barrel for that, because it would require rifling, because there's actually a physical property to that bit of energy. And so as you're forcing it out, you know, you would imagine the barrel would need to be rifled so that flows through whatever, you know. I mean, again, you can make up all the reasons you want to, you know, make sense of this make-believe stuff, right? And yeah, but I mean, also, yeah, I can see it being like an emitter where it's just like a solid end to it, and it's like energy emitting from that little nacelle, right? So I can imagine it either way. I have no idea. Um, you know, and I mean, realistically, is even the artwork and Games Workshop, are they even consistent on what it is, right? Because again, it's made up stuff. You might see artwork where it looks like a gun barrel, and it looks like an emitter. You know what I mean? What is it? Don't know. It's made up stuff. So yeah, it's hard to say. Terracotta 9. I told myself I wouldn't buy the new Kill Team box. My wife is right. I never listen. The new Kill Team, the what the hell's it called? The Pariah Nexus. The Nexus of Pariah. So it is the collection of outsiders. It is the central meeting point of outcasts. Right? Is that what that means? Is that what the translation would mean? It's got some nice model. Oh, it's Sector Minitorum environment expansion. It's got all the cargo containers. Oh, it's got a board section too. Oh, it's a whole thing. Not that I'm about to rush out and get it or anything like that, but yeah. Interesting. Intriguing. I am intrigued. Color me intrigued. So anyway, thank you, B-Man, for sending that in. Awesome stuff. I like it. I'm not 100% sure on, where we're getting tripped up as far as how we're imagining things. Hopefully as I was describing it, that was making sense. If not, shoot me another message and we can, try, like I said, I have a few videos on doing OSL. Give them a watch, hopefully, and there's plenty of videos out there for doing OSL, and, give them all a watch, really, because pretty much everybody says something a little bit different, but yet some information stays the same. So, again, just, learn from many sources. No harm in that. So, very, very cool. Thank you very much. The B-Man. Enforcer, Kris, game on Atari with the name that collected dots, and if you bumped into yourself, game over. That's Snake. Yeah, I know. That was like 20 minutes ago, man. I know. Your stream is lagging. Oh, that coffee was cold. Let's do another email because, holy crap, we're 4 minutes OT. We're running into OT here, people. For God's sakes. And I got Stoof to take care of. This is from our good buddy, Ghost of Starman Deluxe. Greetings, Monkey Lord. At long last, I have finally got around to taking a pic for the Monkey Shrine. Hopefully, sometime soon, I will be able to snap a better one in front of Warhammer World, but that won't be possible for a little while. So this one will have to do for now. In the meantime, I've attached a pic of a Star Wars Legion C-3PO I've been working on. He was based all over with Mephiston red, followed by null oil on the red arm. The rest of them had a layer of Auric armor gold, followed by null oil gloss, and then another layer of Auric. Do I say that right? Auric? I don't know. I don't care. The eyes were done with Lead Belcher, followed by Wraithbone. I would like to make them look a little more like they're glowing, but I'm not sure how to achieve this effect. The aim is for them to look like they do in the movies. Other than that, I've just got sand up his base. I've got to sand up his base. And then he pretty much done. But any other comments and critiques will be greatly appreciated. Many thanks. Jonathan, a.k.a. Ghost of Starman Deluxe, a.k.a. a uni student with too many unpainted models. And so, Jonathan, there we go. See? Fucking damn good looking kid. I mean, immediately, if he didn't have that shirt, yeah, he's a little less. Now that he's wearing the shirt, bang, immediately, a far superior looking catch, to be sure. Excellent. Well, thank you, Jonathan. Finally. There we go. And of course, if I'd have managed to run into you when I was over on your side of the world, 2 years ago? I mean, I would have known what you look like, but yeah. Cool. Looks good, man. And I will add it. Oh, look at this. C-3PO. Okay. So, what was the other picture? The backside. Ooh, more heinies. C-3PO heiny. Okay. So, to go for a bit more of a glow in his eye, it would require a fair amount of control on your part as far as laying down thin controlled layers. We're talking glazing here, and building up to that slight yellow hue that his eyes glow. I mean, if you wanted to introduce a bit of a yellow glow, you could always take like if you have any of the old yellow glazes, a very thinned out version of that, and just put a simple thin little layer, not heavy, just run it along the surface, or even the inside perimeter of where his pupil would be. And as far as creating like a glow outside of his eyes, because he is metallic, the light plays so well off his surface. I don't know if you really want to start messing around. If you had done him in a more non-metallic metal look, the OSL might be a little bit easier to go for, but because he is quite small and it's just his eyes you're interested in, and like in the shows, he doesn't really look like his eyes are like headlamps. Although I guess in some instances, yeah, they do kind of look like headlamps. I guess it is really more situational as far as, intensity. If you really wanted to go for intensity and you wanted to replicate kind of what you see in the shows, I think the simplest way, without going through, the whole OSL look, on the inside perimeter of his eye, lay down a nice solid white, and then use a fluorescent yellow and put a thin layer of fluorescent yellow inside that, and that will build intensity when you're looking at the model, and you'll have that intense glow out of his eyes. Because fluorescent paints, especially like the Vallejo, which ones do I use? I use golden fluorescents, and I like the golden fluorescents. And yeah, and you can just create that, and without having to try and emulate how the light sourcing would go from his eyes, because to do that, you really need to look at how light plays on that shiny metal surface, right? C-3PO. And let me see if I can find a good picture here of like, yeah, so like here from the last movie, let's jump over to the screen. Yeah. So the frame on the far right, see how like the light, it's quite dark. So if you were going to paint him in that dark scheme, you could really replicate. Oh, he's got, okay, it's not, you see how it's like 3 dots? I think all you really need to do is put 3 dots like that. See how there's 2 above and then 1 below central on his eyes? You could replicate it like that. Here's another good one, right? Yeah, where you see those 3 lights in his eye. You could replicate it like that. But even, you see how like his eyes really do look intense, yet you don't really see glow in his armor, or like his face. It's more, the more ambient light plays in his eyes. Although this one here gives you more of a glow in his eyes. You see that picture on the right. And it's a bit of an orange. I mean, you can also replicate that as well. And realistically, all you have to do is go by a reference, right? So if this is your goal, to create that glow in his eyes like that, it's a thinned out orange. Very, very thin. Just outside the eye. We're talking like a millimeter. So if we're talking about you know, the picture of him, right? Then, you know, you're it's going to take a good degree of control on your part to create that slight glow. The other thing is, as well, is that you do have the outline around his eye is quite dark. And you could also alleviate that, give it a bit more of a glow if you put a brighter color and fill that space in. Not all the way into his armor, because you don't want it going into his armor. But, yeah. But 3 little light yellow dots or even white dots in the same arrangement as his eyes do in the shows could also give you that impression of his eyes glowing. And pushing to a pure white will give you that sense of light sourcing. Right? But yeah. But thank you, Jonathan. I'm going to add that picture today. Yeah. Sorry. Somebody sent an email there. I was wondering if it was like legit or if it looked like spam. Ghost Starman. Hey, it's me. LOL. Yeah, that was 2 years ago. Time flies, yeah. And I was going to have to avoid OS. I think I'm going to avoid OSL on them. Yeah, if you don't want to go through the steps and trying to, you know, really, because like, if you're not used to working with your paint in very thinned out consistencies, like for glazing, which is something I'm sure you want to develop to, but just, you know, like some people, yeah, they really want that glowing effect, but they don't know how to achieve it. And so they try it once or twice and don't get it to happen. And they feel like they're discouraged. Don't feel that way. You know, don't be afraid to fail the first time you try something. You know, again, you just keep going at it. And kind of like my old dating life. No. And, you know, you'll get there. Don't worry. But you do have to practice playing with the paint in those thin consistencies. And it does start to make sense when you do thin those colors out and start to play with them like that. Do you realize, you know, what I'm talking about? It makes more sense at that point, you know. So, yeah. Shade Shadow. There we go. I am free from my obligations. The email has been sent. Oh, is that you that sent that email? Shade Shadow? Are you Kenny? If that's you, then awesome. I got your email. If you're not Kenny, then somebody's spamming me. No, I only got the email once. It's just the way that it was titled, it was kind of what? Anyway, Ghost Starman Deluxe. I've been meaning to pick up some Vallejo paints. We'll have to add fluorescent to the list. We'll definitely give it a try. Yeah. Vallejo, scale 75. I think Green Stuff World, and I like Golden. But I'm sure there are many water-based acrylic fluorescents. And that might give you the intensity you're looking for. I would highly recommend, like, okay, the easiest way I can think of to get that, replicate an effect like that, especially when you're looking at it in person and it's going to look cool on the tabletop, is the fluorescent paint. Put a solid white, lay the fluorescent down, and then with a little bit of the thinned out, if you can manage it, put those 3 dots in his eye in white on top of that fluorescence. And that'll make those eyes glow. That fluorescent yellow will make those eyes glow. Not too heavy though. Work with it and thin. Just thin it, just the dampness of the brush. Just thin the color down ever so slightly and just draw it in. I know, it's a big ask, I realize, but don't be afraid to give it a try. And if you mess up, well, try again. Shade Shadow. Ooh, never thought I sent with my name on it, but okay, now you know I'm a guy from South Park. I didn't know that, but now. Oh, is that what, Kenny? Yeah. Why is that the character's last name too? Wait. Are you wearing a hoodie right now? Oh, that's a dumb joke. I know. It's a crap joke. I realize. All right. Another email. Because we can. And holy crap, we're 16 minutes. OT. This one is from our good buddy, Scott Radom. This is Heresy Miniatures. Painted these guys up quick. They're from Heresy Miniatures, and I'm using them as the AI controlled bad guys for playing Horizon War Zero Dark using the solo rules. I am not familiar with any of that. Now, look at the boss dude's neck. I slapped him together quick, and homeboy paid the price with a busted ass and neck. Poor guy, he forgot the cardinal rule. Protect your neck. Also, you need to respect the dude with the black helmet. He is classed as an elite, and with that kind of responsibility comes another half dozen or so pouches, which must be worn square in the chest. That is all. Be well. Also, Big Ben does need the money for the new from the new contract so that he can keep paying hush money to all his, well, you get it. Maybe let's see Mason Rudolph take some snaps under center. Yeah, I don't know. Dogbound, baby. Yeah. Anywho, okay, so I really like these. I like the way you did the glint in the visors. I really like that. It's really nice and bright, in contrast to like how dark the models are. I like the bases. I like the red. I like the color scheme overall. Yeah, I seen you had posted these the other day. One of these guys, or maybe that was last email. Because like, I remember looking at this guy and I said, "Oh, he looks like a red guy. Like he looks like the Doom Trooper, from Doom." But anyway, I like how Buddy's hands are tucked behind his back. Oh, very cool. I like him. Scott's painting is really fantastic. I'm just trying to think of anything that I would offer. I think, starting to sound like a broken record here, but, like squad markings. The knee pad would be a fun place to have, squad numbers. Markings on the helmets, like in white, I'm thinking. If I was going to do squad markings or, insignias or anything like that, I'd probably do them on the armor in white. I really like the cloak. I like the leather. I like the color. Yeah. Pretty straightforward sculpts, eh? Like that pouch is just 2 rectangles, really. Oh, he's got a baton or sword or something? I don't know. Look really good, though. Yeah, if you're painting these up for the game, these are fantastic. This is above and beyond, really, tabletop. I'm sure it probably doesn't take you too long to do this up really quick. I know some people are looking at it going, wow, this is fantastic, and, must spend hours, but no, you can, after a while, you can see, you can get through this pretty quickly. It's effective. It's a fast, effective work. It looks really great with great results. And, yeah. Yeah, it looks really good. I like it. Yeah, I think like squad markings or, something like that, like in white on the knee pads or something, like a number 2 or, you know what I mean? Like just like that kind of thing, right? Like hit like the commander's chest armor, he could have, I don't know, like the captain's bars if he's a captain or sergeant or, you know what I mean? Like just, I don't know. I don't know what the background is for these things. I don't know if they're, like their army or if they're corporate or, you know what I mean? Like what's supposed to be the vibe for them kind of thing. Kenny, I have no pictures in that email. And the email title is kind of freaking me out. Sorry, I'm reading Kenny's email, but this is the king of the big boys. But there's no pictures. Or was this just, I don't know, it sounds like there's supposed to be pictures, but I don't see any pictures. So I'm not reading it. Where am I in these comments here? Ghost Starman. I have a major temptation to buy a bunch of C-3POs for Legion and do all of his paint schemes across the series. I also want to convert a combination of him and Chewie like an Empire. There isn't a sculpt like that with a broken up, busted ass C-3PO. Yeah, I mean, if you were designing backpacks, why would you not have a C-3PO backpack, a busted ass C-3PO as a backpack? You know what I mean? Like, that's just too funny. Same with like the Yoda backpack, which I've seen the Yoda backpack, but you know, yeah, Empire, such a great movie. Yeah, do them all. Yeah, do them all. Yeah, do them all silver, right, from Phantom. Then do them pure gold, and then pure gold with the silver leg, and then you could even do one with red eyes. C-3PO with the red arm with the red eyes. Yeah, you could even do that too. Yeah. Anyway, Hail Bob! Made it for the end of the show. Yeah, we're 22 minutes OT. I'm just seeing if Kenny send another email. Are you going to send another email, or we'll save it for next week? Let's save it for next week, Shade Shadow. Yeah, let's save it for next week. Just because we're 22 minutes OT and yeah. Like it matters. Enforcer. Oh, holy crap, my stream was way far behind. Oh, were you way far? Okay, that's what it was. Okay. Shade Shadow. I sent it from the phone, so I guess it did not work, or did not want to work. I see if I can fix it from the computer. Yeah, you know what? Shade Shadow, I'm sure you're probably on your computer now by now, but yeah, we'll save it for next week. Rewrite the email, make it all nice, and yeah, and send pics. Send pics. Send them as attachments in the email. Don't send it off as links to other sites. Just so I can repeat myself. And sound like a jerk. Goes to Starman. There probably is a sculpt for Chewie with C-3PO, but not an official one by FFG. Haven't looked at any third-party minis, etc. Yeah, I bet you there probably is like a 28 millimeter scale Chewie and C-3PO. But doing a conversion though would be a real flex, I think. And yeah, especially if you do one before anybody else produces one, you know, just so you can say, yeah, I did that fucking years ago, man. Like, yeah, nobody did it. Weak. That's weak. That's some weak tea. Shade Shadow. Okay, then I don't have to rush it. Yeah, don't rush it, buddy. Don't rush it. I want your email. I do want all of you. I want all of you to send an email. But yeah, don't rush it. We'll save it for next week. And yeah, so that way you can, you know, if you have a question or if you just want to show off what you're working on, I don't care. I'm going to show you your email as long as it's appropriate. But then again, this is an adult show, so I'm just saying. Oh, no, wait. No, YouTube and Twitch don't like nudity, though. Apparently, nipples scare people, apparently. I don't know. Even though I don't make this for kids, but, you know. And I know because my nephews apparently watch this from time to time. And you boys, oh boy, you guys are lucky. Lucky. I'm like 9 hours away. Too far for a quick drive to come up there and whoop your behinds. Because I would. If your moms call me up, tell me you guys are being bad. Ass kickings would commence. Ass kickings. Like proper. I'll get a big boot. It's a kick in the bum. And on that note, if you're new to this hobby, you want to ask your questions, maybe you want to show off what you're working on, maybe you're a commission painting service and you want to drum some exposure, or, you know, whatever, you just want to share. Sharing is caring. Send your emails to Kris@wayofthebrush.com. It is in the description below, as well as a link to wayofthebrush.com. Central hub of all the silliness has the links to all the social medias, as well as Discord. Join us on Discord. It's a lot of fun. Keep the conversation rolling there. And just like this show, the Discord is pretty random. I have channels for random, but conversations flow all over the place, as monkeys tend to not stay in their lanes. They just jump lanes, and, you know. It's kind of like Mad Max, where all the cars are just kind of, you know, and they all hit each other and cross over, and, you know. And, of course, somebody's in the front with the guitar and the flamethrower, and, you know. That's such a great movie. Anyway, maybe I'll watch that today. No, I got other stuff to do. So yeah, join us on waythebrush.com. And of course, t-shirts. Want to get yourself a t-shirt? Look like a connoisseur of all that is good and holy, and also look far more handsome. I mean, let's go one more time. I mean, it's going to be on the site soon enough. I'll take care of it later. But you know, if you want to look like, I mean, look at the confidence. Look at the smile. Like, at closing, he must have the pick of the litter, right? I don't know if Jonathan hangs out at bars, but either way, I'm sure he's getting his pick of whatever's left. Also at waythebrush.com is a link for Patreon support. Huge thank you to all my patrons. Without their support, this channel, this show, these videos that I produce would not happen. And so a huge, huge thank you to all of you for your support. And if you're considering Patreon support, there are varying tiers of support. And a huge thank you to everybody taking a look and considering, and everybody who does support. Huge, huge thank you. If you're not able to support monetarily, i.e. money, thumbing up the video, liking, following, subscribing, and sharing, and commenting, and all that stuff. The interactions with the video, right? With the video. All help as well. It appeases the algorithm gods. And, you know, yeah. That all helps greatly as well. Was that it? No. Big thank you to Carl, a.k.a. Guymere Alfer, a.k.a. Beer and Blood Bowl. That's his YouTube channel. Check him out if you love yourself some beer and you love yourself some Blood Bowl. Beer and Blood Bowl is where it's at. We always take the time to thank Carl, even though he is no longer with us, for taking the time out of his busy day to create the email jingles that play before the email segment of the show. It's always much love to Carl. And of course, speaking of love, much love to my baby brother Evan for creating the intro, outro music that plays at the begin and end of the show. Always much love to my baby bro Evan. And if you're into rare comics, like rare, like not well done, but rare, he's got the hookup. EB Comics, in the description below. Check him out if you're into him. And if you're not, whatever. But if you are, check him out. He might have it. You're probably looking for that one comic that was gonna, you know, complete your collection. He might have had it. Or he might have, you know, I'm going to say he does have it. He's got it. I don't know. Now I'm making promises on his end. He's probably like, fuck, man, shut up. I don't have that one. They're looking for Spider-Man number 11. I don't have that one. EB Comics? Yeah, EB Comics. Yeah, Hellbop. It's in the description below. At least it should be. Yeah, you're on Twitch. I usually populate that. If you go back into some of the other previous casts, I filled it out in the description. You should see a link for EB Comics. Yeah, but it's EB Comics. Excuse me, I'm going to throw up. Yeah. Hold on here. Let me see here. Let's go. Yeah, let's do ebcomics.com. I think it's just as simple as that. Or maybe there's a hyphen in there. Hyphen. What? Let's see here. How do I have that URL? Oh, yeah, there is. Okay, hold on. Yeah, I fucked it all up. Fucked it up. All this time I've been doing it wrong. I've been saying it wrong. No, I've been doing it wrong. There we go. There's the link. Yeah, I put it up in on Twitch. There we go. EB Comics. It's EB-Comics. Dash. There we go. Yeah, you can see the URL now. Yeah, so he's got the rare comics. Check him out. He's also on the Instagrams and the other stuff. And yeah, he does the social things. But yeah, check him out. Or don't. I don't care. If you're into comics, you'll check him out. If you're not, yeah, you don't care. But I would assume anybody who's, you know, paying any kind of attention to me is probably into comics. I would imagine. I'd imagine most of us that are into the miniature painting, wargaming, hobby, lifestyle, right? Comics are a part. some of us are probably very huge into comics. Some of us maybe not so much, right? But yeah, we are all familiar with the concept of comics. And at this point, I'm just rambling because, yeah. Okay, we're 31 minutes OT. Any parting words of wisdom? No? Nobody's got anything clever to say? No? 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 Okay, going once. Going twice. No? Yeah? Oh. All right, go enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Go do something productive. Go hug a loved one. Stay safe. Wash your hands if you're going, outside. Wear a mask. Don't touch your face. Yeah. You guys know the drill. Ghost of Starman, something clever. Never mind. You know what? I regret. Send that shirt back. Send the shirt back. Never mind. You lost all your cool points. Exactly. Oh shit! You took the enforcer. Take care of your brushes, or they will kill you. Oh, jeez. There we go. Usually I say take care of your brushes, and they'll take care of you. And I'll see you guys next time. But, jeez, they'll kill you. Brushes will take care. Damn, Ghost of Starman. Fuck. Okay, well, now you're just cursing. What are we? 5 here? Like, come on.